People. Joel Benjamin 528, aka Big Money Benjamin, aka MC Spookism. Salute to the international audience and salute to the domestic. Let me change the runner, because this is going to be one of the most important live streams that I have done in a very, very long time. Get y'all pens and papers so y'all can remember. Y'all know y'all memories be shot. I really don't want people coming back to me. Yo, remember you said this and that? Make sure you save this video. Do all what you got to do. Let's get into it. I'm really not trying to be here long. The Bank of Ripple, the new era and finance, and the stable coin deception. So Ripple became a bank. All right, a trust bank. That means basically they're doing everything, but not for you. They're gonna be holding the crypto for institutions and everything else. Now, the people who didn't get the stock in YouTube, shame on, not YouTube, the stock in Ripple, shame on you. That's on you. Y'all caused that, because if you knew you was able to get in when you could finally get in. Now, Link 2, as we know, they had some problems, but that's neither here nor there. Us as the so-called little person, the noise, aka the institutional investor, we don't get access to this type of stuff. We really don't. So now that we're in, we have to stay in. One of the things that I noticed that a lot of these banks and different institutions are also doing, they've been buying up major amounts of XRP. They've been buying up major amounts of silver. I went over that before. And it appears that I have to go over it again, because this is all connected. Where I put my phone, damn it. Especially when you start dealing with the whole stablecoin era. They are going to crash this market again. It's coming. And one of the things that they're looking to use is the stablecoin, which is, I want to say, CBDC's Lite, Central Bank Digital Currency Lite. The name alone. Because everything you could do with a CBDC, you can do with a stablecoin. In case y'all did not know this, right? Y'all thought it was any coincidence that Ripple decided to come out with their own stablecoin, and all these financial institutions like PayPal and a bunch of these other businesses want to come out with stablecoins and supposed to be pegged 1-to-1 with the US dollar. So people right now are worrying about the price of XRP, when I've been telling y'all they're buying it on the low. Billions of dollars in XRP is now taken off of the market because of the ETF. There's going to be, no, there is. People, I hate when people say it's going to be. It already is a supply shock. So now that we know there's a supply shock and we're able to get that information out the way, what's next? What is your next move? Do you have XRP? So for the people that have XRP, you might believe you have a small amount of XRP and it don't mean nothing, right? You might say, well, I only have 200 XRP. That's why I really don't laugh at certain people when they say stuff like that. Well, I only have 100 XRP. Imagine buying Bitcoin for $1. Now imagine you bought $100 worth. That's $100, right? Of Bitcoin. You never touch it. Bitcoin now jumps up to 100K. Something that you bought for $1 back then jumps up to 100K. How much is that? How much is that? It ain't rocket science. It's not rocket science. So I don't look down on nobody that got a little bit of XRP. It might take them a little longer to gain some real heavy profit. But say you have XRP now and you got in when it's $2 a coin. You missed out on 19 cents, but you got in at $2. Guess what? XRP goes up to $10,000 a coin like we expected. How much money you got? Now this is not financial advice, but it's always encouraged to buy the dip, buy when there's blood in the streets, even if it's your own. And that's a fact. Ain't no ifs, ain't no ands, ain't no buts. Like the Nike swoosh, just do it, right? Now, I'm going to switch gears over into silver just a bit. Hold on. Let me set this up for y'all. Now, how much people that's watching me right now actually have some silver? Put in the comments. Put it in the live chat. How much people have some silver? Now, I've been told you that silver and XRP, along with gold, well, all precious metals, is going to go hand in hand. I told you this time and time again. If you don't have silver at this point, you're doing yourself a huge, and I mean huge, massive disservice. Okay? You should be having as much silver as you can. All right? Salute to the international audience. Salute to the domestic. I'm just looking to dive into this live stream because I have a lot of information to give you. And I pretty much have a lot to do. So for the people, let me put this up in the chat for you. For the people who don't have themselves some silver, you want to get it at the cheapest. Now, this is the problem that I have with a lot of people that do have silver. You swear, let's say silver goes up to $1,000. You swear, as there's a God above, you're going to get $1,000 for that, right? No, you're wrong. It's not going down like that. Hey, I'm just a messenger. Don't get mad at me. I'm just telling you exactly what it is. It does not work like that. You're lucky if you get you're lucky if they give you 700, and I'm not trying to be funny. All right? You would want to get a program that actually works and give you just below spot value. That's how that works. So I see a question here. Moldova 242 asks, why would I trade precious metals for dollars? It all depends. And then again, some people need the money. Some people don't. We don't have it. I think in Florida, they make it where you could use the actual silver and gold to transfer or do whatever you got to do. But we're not in Florida. It's not all across America yet. I see Lester McDavid said, I have been selling to buy crypto and living expenses. Okay. You could do that as well. The silver go up and you feel XRP going to go up even more. You could take that and do that. Again, not financial advice, but I get it. I get the point on what you're saying and what you're doing. So let me give y'all the link. I'm going to give y'all a link right now, right? Let me post it up here for you. And I did this before. Anybody that watched me and hear me talk about silver and you do not have silver at this point, shame on you. You are doing yourself a disservice and you're doing a family a disservice. Stoner Feud said, I have silverware. Silver is silver. That's the link for At Course Metals. Anybody that's watching it off of the live, rebroadcast or whatever, I'm gonna put it in the comment section for you, because a lot of people, when it came time to sell their silver, they sold their silver at a huge loss. But if they were a member of At Course Metals, they get just below spot value. Okay. Lester McDavid say, Joel, that's not true, bro. I've been selling and get $1.50 under spot. When you say you get $1.50 under spot, have you been selling actual silver or have you been selling paper silver? That's number one. Number two, the next thing is $1.50 on the spot. Nah. Also, you're in Canada, right? I see your next comment. It says, is At Course Metals shipping to Canada now? No, as far as I know, no, they're not. Okay. All right. So now he said real silver. So if you're doing real silver, remember, you're doing that in Canada. And you're changing it for Canadian money. That's a whole nother topic right there. You see, that's why it's good to do these live streams. Not only that, I assume you're using the bars and the coins. I doubt you're actually doing the jewelry. A lot of people have, like you see Stoner Feud, have silverware. Yes, real silver made in forks and spoons and knives, right? If you go trade that in, that's called junk silver or junk jewelry, right? Your chains, your rings. Nowhere else can you go and turn that in for the same value of the coins or the bars. Trust me, it's not happening. With At Course Metals, you're going to get that. Remember when I used to be up here pushing one gold? And then I told you, once I found something better, that's what I'm going to deal with. Not only that, let me say this. I was on here since 2016, 2017, telling people, get the silver chains, get the rings, get anything as you can get as silver, because soon they will be taking that and, because they need it. They're running out of silver. I did a whole live stream on that. I was over 2 hours long on that live stream. This one ain't going to be that low. Okay? Silver hit an all-time high. Let me pull up my screen so you see what I see. I think it went up to 25. Yep. $25 an ounce. Check this out. Let me share my screen with you. Okay. Hopefully I'm sharing properly. There we go. Oh, I keep messing up. Hold on, people. I gotta make sure they're showing up properly. There we go. All right. So you see, I'm putting the indicator on there. Silver went up 9:30 a.m. It went up to 65. This is the one-day chart. All right. So you see, all-time high of 65. So I put it on the max. I did that there to show you it went up to 65. All right. The one-day chart shows at 9:30 a.m. $65 an ounce. I'm really looking for a triple-digit silver very soon. I'm telling you, with this whole thing that's going on with the AI, you need to get silver. Not only that, with what they're doing with the stable coins. Listen to me carefully. With what they're doing with the stable coins and the real world assets, the tokenization of stocks and bonds and precious metals. This is where XRP is going to come in big time. Remember, one of the biggest holders of silver, the banks out of all places, is JP Morgan Chase. Now, I have posted this up, and we're going to go right back to the stable coins, because I'm going to show you how it's all connected. Remember, I told you Coinbase will become a bank. Remember, they put in for their bank charter license as well. Remember that. This is how it's going to be when XRP go up, and people is going to want to be members of Ripple Bank, the Bank of Ripple. You see, that's how they're going to be running. Okay? There's really going to be a run on the banks, as they say. But now, Ripple Federal Banking License get approved by the OCC. Press release. Now, remember this. Check this out. No, we don't want to do picture. Let's check this out. 42 major U.S. banks. All right, 42 major U.S. banks represented by the Bank Policy Institute, which is known as the BPI, formally objected to Ripple's application for a national trust bank license with the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, which is known as the OCC. OCC in middle 2025, citing risk to financial stability. How is, let me read the whole thing, then I'm going to go into it. Regulatory concerns and potential presidents for crypto in banking, with members including JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, and Citi. These banks feared Ripple's stablecoin RLUSD, and blockchain tech threatened traditional finance by offering faster, cheaper payments, potentially bypassing intermediaries like themselves. Why are they scared of the Ripple stablecoin? Well, guess what? When you get all that XRP, you're going to be able to change your XRP into RLUSD. They already hit $1 billion in volume, RLUSD, right? Right. So they will hold your RLUSD. They will do that for you. All holding that other cryptos and dealing with all that, they're not doing. Remember, they filed to be a what? National Trust Bank. There's a difference. The regular banks, JP Morgan Chase and all them out there is not the same. This one's specifically doing for institutions, big institutions. And if they're doing anything for us, considered the little man, it's going to be what? It's going to be what? We're going to hold your RLUSD for you. Hell yeah. And we're going to give you such and such amount of yield on it. That's how it works. Excuse me, people. These are the L's of going live. Yes, that's little Miss Benjamin. My daughter called, so I had to take that, people. All right. In other news, we also have Wrapped XRP coming to Solana. As you know, Solana and XRP has partnered up. Okay? Yes, that's big news. Solana needs XRP. XRP needs Solana. This is going to be a whole, and I knew something was up because when they said about putting stuff in whatever strategic reserve or whatever they're doing, when Solana came in as one of them, I was like, Solana? I said, okay, something is afoot here. Now, in case y'all don't know, Amida becomes the first European bank to go live with Ripple payments. Now, remember, Bank of America doing all the payment, which they've been doing. I don't know why they're trying to say they're going fully, but they've been using XRP for the longest while. Other news, global brokerage firm Interactive Brokers is now allowing accounts to be funded with stable coins. How you like that? And BitGo, if y'all don't know about BitGo, look at BitGo. BitGo secures regulatory approval to become a bank. That was in the Wall Street Journal. This is what's going on behind the scenes. There's big money being moved. BlackRock clients buy $52.37 million of XRP. Now, of XRP, of Bitcoin, and 23.21 million in Ethereum. Now we got Singapore Gulf Bank launches stablecoin minting and redemption on Solana. That is huge news. Now with this one, the UAE, pay very close attention to the UAE. UAE's largest fuel retail, how you pronounce that? NADNOC, to being accepted stablecoin payments across 980 stations in 3 countries. Yeah. Now, this is the one I wanted to show you. The ETF clients buy $20.17 million worth of XRP, bringing the total ETF held net assets to $1.18 billion. Now, people say, oh, that's all good. What about the price? Remember, Solana ETF, Sol ETFs has recorded inflow for 7 consecutive days. You got the Solana ETF. Do you see what the price is of Solana? I'm showing you all this for a reason. They purposely do this to the price to bring it down. Now, this is why the banks don't want the stable coins, because they know this time they're in trouble and they would have to kiss the ring of Ripple. First they laugh at them, then they talk trash about them, then you know the rest. They try to put the law up on them, sue them. Then they got to join them. They have to kiss the ring. Now, this is very interesting, right? U.S. banks now sitting on $395 billion in unrealized losses as of Q2 2025. Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Citi, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan Chase. What a coincidence. Some of the majors that was in that 42, 43 was it? 42 banks that wrote and tried to push against Ripple becoming a bank. The crazy part is JP Morgan Chase and Ripple, Bank of America and Ripple, Citi and Ripple, we definitely know for sure they are working with XRP. Well, using XRP and working with Ripple. This is a fact. This ain't up for debate. Now, here goes the next thing. I know for a fact this is true, because I know what I've done. When you see all these people talking about, oh, with credit and doing this and doing that, garbage. They be out here talking about, oh, I could do this. I could take this off, this, and they don't show you no proof. What you know about owing $5,000, right? They would tell her, I don't owe you nothing. Of course, there's more you got to say than that. Okay? What you know about that? And then they have to come back and apologize. But you know, running up JP Morgan Chase and giving you $6,000 credit limit, $15,000 credit limit, $20 credit limit, use them all up, and you let them know you're not getting paid. I use credit. I ain't use cash. Why would I pay you back in cash? Right? And then get it written off. Then you got some people that's just like, I ain't got it. You ain't getting it. I don't care what you do with the credit scores. You're not getting it. Mind you, keep in mind again, this is what they show you for the Q2. That's their second quarter for 2025. We're already in the fourth quarter, about to hit a new first quarter for 2026. So if this is the number just for 2025, that means quarter one and quarter two. What is quarter three and quarter four going to look like? What is the addition to all four quarters? This is why they need the stable coin, but they're being slick with the stable coins. Listen to me carefully. Let's go into the Dodd-Frank Act of 2010. Is a sweeping U.S. financial reform law enacted after the 2008 crisis to prevent future meltdowns by increasing financial system oversight, protecting customers, and ending too big to fail bailouts. Listen to that last part again. And ending too big to fail bailouts. You're not getting no bailout like that no more. Key components include the creation of the Financial Stability Oversight Council, known as the FSOC, for systematic risk, and Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which is known as the CFPB, for consumer protection. The Volcker Rule, limiting risky bank investments, and new rules for derivative and whistleblowers, making the system safer and more transparent. This rule that came down was a major blow for the banks. They can't do the set of predatory lending and stuff that they used to do before, although they try to be slick with it. So, backtrack. Keep in mind what I said with this Dodd-Frank Act. Right? When they give you, the way how they trying to go about it, they're going to give you small amounts and then raise it up, say, oh yeah, you're building up or whatever. They give you the card, right? They try to be slick. They say, we got to go back to the old ways, not the old ways, because there's a law put in there. We got to go back even further to the older ways. This is what they do. And this is why they fear the stable coins coming into play, but they have no choice because America needs to save itself. F the bankers. And right now, it's every man for himself. This is what they do with the credit. They'll give you the credit. You run up the credit, right? We all know what the real money is, right? Please put it in the chat before I continue on any more longer. Do anybody know what real money is? What is the real money? Hint, I just said it earlier. So what they would do, they would give you the credit card. You use the credit. As you use the credit, you run it up. They say, I need you to pay me back. You took this money. Okay? Hold on, sidetrack. I seen somebody said signature. No. That's deeper. The signature is deeper. That goes on a whole nother deeper level. But that's not currency. Gold and silver. I see a few you people got it. That's right. Gold, yes. Gold and silver is the original money. And always remember, silver is more rare than gold. And only a matter of time before you realize that. because they will make sure you realize that they have no choice. They are not able to manipulate the silver market like they used to. Already did a other live stream on that. So the credit, let's go back. You swipey, 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 swipey. You a swipey, swipey boy, or you're a swipey, swipey gal. Everything is credit. They give you incentives to swipe it more because you get in, let's say, some cash back, a percentage back, or whatever they do to make it enticing to you. Freaking flyer miles, yada 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 yada. Right? So as you do this and you swipe, the credit you run up, they now say, pay me back. But we want fiat. That $100 bill all the way down to $1 bill, from the $1 bill, go all the way up. Those coins, the quarter, going all the way to a penny. The 50 cents piece, going all the way to a penny. The dollar coins, going all the way to a penny. That is fiat currency. That's considered fiat currency. Shouldn't even say currency behind it. It's considered fiat. So now they want to give you credit, and instead of saying, well, give me credit back, no, because you don't have your charter and everything set up. And what Lester, I seen it put, you don't have that signature set up right, and you're not even really owner of yourself, birth certificate, all that, that's a whole nother subject. They know you don't know better, so they want your fiat, which is actually still something tangible that you could touch, you could feel, you could hold on to. When you decide you don't pay that at all, they turn around and they sell. Listen now, I'm teaching you why these banks been stocked up on a level for the last, since 2008. Okay? It's no more too big to fail, so they got to depend on you, the people. So when they give you the credit card now, you use it up and they say they want the money back. Now you say, I'm not paying. Real reason, that just because you want to be nasty, you really don't have it. And then they sell the debt. Mind you, they got money from that. Plus they have money because what the credit that they give you, that they try to say is money, they already collect insurance on that because they ain't get it back. So they collected insurance. That's one. Let's do it in order. Insurance. They done sold the debt. Okay? They done sold the debt. They collected the insurance and they sold the debt. That's two payments. That's two. Right? Then they're going to turn around and still try to hit you up. Then you might say, well, maybe this time I got it. Mind you, this is after they done sold the debt. This is after they done sold the debt. So then you still paying them, not knowing the debt is already sold. So you might say, okay, now I'm going to give you $100, hold that. They already triple dipped. They already triple dipped. They sold the debt, collected money. They got insurance on it, collected money. And then still turn around and saying you're owing them. Make it make sense. It doesn't. And there's also a fourth way they be quadruple dipping. This is what they do. So when you turn around now and you give them, now here comes the creditor saying, oh, I made a deal with you. Really? Well, let's make a deal then if you think we didn't. You owe this much. Do I now? How so? You charge this, this, and this, and this. Prove it. Here's the proof. No. Prove it where I made a deal with you. As they turn around and they do that, now I'm breaking it down real simple for you. The creditor, they already got insurance on it. Okay? They already got insurance on it. All right? So if you don't pay that back, they get the insurance money. So they're doing just like what the banks is doing. And then they'll turn around and sell that debt to somebody else too. And they'll just keep the cycle going. Or they might just write it off, depending on how serious you get it. Because now this is where the signature come in and you want to know, show me where. But you got to know what to write. It's not just, oh, you sign nothing, but you got to know what to write. Because when they push back, you got to know how to push back. When they push you, you got to know how to pick them up and do the Undertaker choke slam their ass. That's what you got to know how to do. Stop playing with them. So the banks is, check it out, they sell the credit, right? They sell the credit off, the debt, excuse me. They give you the credit, but you don't pay, so they sell the debt. They collect the insurance on it, right? And then after they sell the debt, they collect the insurance. One I did miss out, I told you was a fourth one. They get a tax write-off too. Okay? So that's how they quadruple dipping. They doing it by what? Selling the debt, insurance on the debt, still hitting you up on the back end from time to time for that debt, and they're getting a tax write-off on the debt. Anybody out here don't know what I'm talking about? You know now. If somebody know what I'm talking about, put it in the chat if I'm lying or not. Put in the chat if I'm lying or not, if I don't know what I'm talking about. So now when the stable coin comes in, that changes the whole dynamic with the stable coins. Because one of the things with the stable coin is, now this is where it gets deep. This is where the banks are threatening, oh, I can't eat. And this is why they don't like Ripple and don't like crypto in general, because everything is tracked. Right? Hold on, people. Everything is tracked. And this was going down. I've seen one person telling me facts. I see Lester saying he ain't lying. Okay, thank you. Like, damn, this is the only person. I got 25 people watching me live. Like, really? You see, YouTube don't be pushing this out there. And not for nothing, YouTube don't be pushing the content out there. First, we know they don't want this information go out. But when y'all comment, when y'all type, they're forced to send it out there to other people. That's why I stay begging y'all to engage. I'm giving y'all some serious alpha right now. I'm about to hit my hour mark. Y'all just can't work with me. Crypto kills shadow banking and secondary market. Facts. So this is what they do. So now with the stable coin, when we get it into the stable coin now, check this out. So you read what the Dodd-Frank Act is all about. So you know all this. Let's get into the Genius Act. The Genius Act, the Guiding and Establishing National Innovation for U.S. Stable Coins Act, is a United States federal law that aimed to create a comprehensive regulatory framework for stable coins. You know the beautiful part about this Stablecoin Act, Trump, the Republicans, and the Democrats, this is one thing you didn't see a big fight on. They all rushed to get this set up and to letting companies know all get in on it. Because of the stable coins is back 1-to-1 with the US dollar, so to speak, right? Okay, so they say. But ain't it strange? They made sure they rush and pass this before they even get proper crypto regulations. They said, no, we're going to get the stable coin regulation on board. It's all part of the plan because guess what? There's a section, fine print, but it's there, in the Genius Act where the Dodd-Frank Act do not apply. It's not bound by these rules. I'm going to say it again so y'all get it. It's not bound at all by these rules. So when they crash the system, they have an excuse to get the bounce back to use the too big to fail, which they're not supposed to use no more, these banks and the rest, because of the Dodd-Frank. Now, you might say the bankers and the United States government and the separation of church and state, we got the church, they all in on it. No, none of them like each other. The government do not like the bankers, but the government is in a chokehold. All right? They got the bankers got the government in a chokehold. They do it like on that movie, Baby Boy, where he let him think, you guy, you youngin'. And he came up behind him and put him in the thing and then kissed his head. Okay? That's what the banks were doing to the USA. That's dead now. That's dead now. And the government know that. As much as the government don't like crypto and the crypto community or these crypto agencies, the crypto agencies is more on some, yo, let's work together. You all right? Don't worry. Yeah, we're going to control stuff, but be cool. We give you a hug. They're not putting them in the fiend. They're not putting them in the chokehold like the banks was doing. Okay? And you might say, well, in 2008, that was their chance to get free. No, it wasn't. That's why they gave them the bailout. Because they knew it was too big to fail, because if it failed, it would destroy the whole of America economy. That's why the banks like JP Morgan Chase been buying up everything, especially silver and XRP and Bitcoin. Don't get it twisted. And Ethereum. I don't know much about if they was buying up Solana, but they're buying it up. So you're playing dumb. And they're going to use the stable coins as the excuse to crash this sucker down. And before you know it, you won't know what hit you. That's how they move. That's how they operate. Let me play this video for you. You might not hear it good. As a matter of fact, hold on, because I want to make sure you hear this video good, because this video that I'm about to play is very important. The new chair of the SEC, Atkins, right? Give me a second. Let me line this up. Give me a second, y'all. Oh, man. Freaking shit. Hold on. Bear with me. Yeah. I'm going to put this speaker on for you so you can hear this audio for yourself. I should have did this before. I really didn't have plans on playing the audio, but I'm going to now. Okay. Oh, of course, camera acting up. I'm going to share my screen so you all see what I see. All right. Breaking. SecChair just said it live on Fox. The Bitcoin and crypto market structure bill is about to pass. It's not a drill. If this goes through, clear rules for Bitcoin and crypto, institutional green light, banks plus funds can finally scale in. Capital walls come down. Liquidity flood in. We're not talking billions. We're talking trillions lining up at the door. Crypto regulatory moment is here. The money cannon is warming up. Listen to this.
Going through the clip that threw on the president for signing that bill. Now, there's market structure bill that's going through the Clarity Act that was passed by the House. And so that we'll see where that goes in Congress. And so I'm hoping that they'll be able to get that through. But in the meantime, we in the CFTC will be, and already are, actively working on harmonizing our two systems that threw on the president for signing that bill.
So you heard it there yourself. It's about to go down, people. It's not a drill. It's not a drill. This is live and in your face. This is the real deal. This is what's going on. This is happening in real time. So all of y'all that think it's sweet, see Bank X posted up. See that? Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. See Ripple, application to charter Ripple National Trust Bank, New York. Notice everything going down in New York. It's funny how New York is so pretty much, I want to say, anti-crypto, not very crypto approving, but look at this. Right? So this is the official letter, and it says right here, the OCC has granted preliminary conditional approval only. Final approval and authorization pursuant to 12 U.S.C. 27 in bracket A for the Bank of Commerce business will not be granted until all reopen requirements are met. So once they meet, because Ripple is going to do it, fully meet all the requirements, then boom, now we got the stuff completely finalized. But right now, they got it. Even though it's conditional approval, once they, all right, boom, here we go. You give us approval. Here, we got everything in order. Now what? Oh, we're good. Thank you. That's how that works, people. That's how that works. There's no sugarcoat in it. There's no ring around the rosy with it. It is what it is. And that's just what it is. Ripple is now a bank. They don't care if you like it, don't like it. It is what it is. So now that Ripple is a bank and they're dealing with crypto and everything else, that's just the way it's going to be. All the banks have to answer to them. So if you do not have XRP right now, if you're not buying as much XRP as you can, shame on you. I put this up here. This is funny. Remember the movie from Captain Phillips? The movie Captain Phillips. Remember this scene where homeboy was like, look at me. Look at me. I'm the captain of this ship now. Well, you got JP Morgan Chase as Captain Phillips, and then you got the Somalian pirate, and they got them as Ripple. Come on, saying, look at me. I'm the bank now. Hey, they've been reigning for far too long. Okay? This is a case people think it's bullshit. This is officially from Solana. Breaking XRP is coming to Solana. All right? This is directly from Solana. So nobody can say nothing. Now, with silver and everything that's happening, in order to get AI to do certain things, it takes a high amount of silver. Let's get back on the silver real quick. This is a video. Look at this video right here.
These humanoid robots. This time to the index of other news tonight at another moment with one of these humanoid robots, this time kicking its CEO in a simulated face-off in China. The robot landing quite a forceful strike right here, appearing to knock the CEO of Engine AI right to the ground there. The CEO, covered in padded gear for the battle, appearing to be unharmed. The company says the moment of man versus robot was about shutting down claims that other videos of this same humanoid robot and its capabilities were just CGI. To the index of other news tonight at another moment with one of these humanoid robots.
When one of them robots kick your ass down like that, that's pure silver backing it. This is why we're going to have the Tesla robots. And oh, forget about it for law enforcement. It's going to be real RoboCops out here. And y'all still ain't collecting silver. Okay. I'm going to put the link in for you one more again. Sign up to At-Course Metals. Make sure you sign up to At-Course Metals. You want to do the coin of the month for people that's having problems or don't know how to go about it. You contact me, 929-374-3828. That's 929-374-3828. You ain't got no excuse. Okay? Here goes the At-Course Metal link again. I only deal with the best. There you go. Let's move on and continue because I'm about to wrap this up. The hour mark is almost over. There's the link. You have no excuse. Got no excuse. I'm telling you. And soon they're going to put in the OI into that robot where they have the mini brains with silver. Because yes, those circuit boards, the mini brains with the micro chips all connected. I showed that already in live streams. So if anybody doubt me, that's how I knew the price of silver was going to go up, and it's going to go up even higher. That's how I know. That's how I knew. I never kept it a secret. I didn't gatekeep. Did I? No, I didn't. So watch this video before we get out of here. Matter of fact, let me play this one for you first.
Louise Yamada say, the bigger the base, the higher in space.
Played this video before y'all before,
higher.
But let's get it again. Because some of y'all need reminders.
Louise Yamada say, the bigger the base, the higher in space. The bigger the base, the higher in space. The bigger the base, the higher in space. In my view, you have to have people start using that XRP, that Ripple currency, in substitute for foreign currency, but that's the utility. That's the use case for Ripple, the currency. If that's the case, then that's a pretty nice base right there. Should
we invite BKO?
Oh, come on. Have to.
All right, come on.
Louise Yamada say, the bigger the...
That was on Fast Money. That was an actual news clip. Okay? So all those that think Ripple can't do what it do, okay. Now this one, as you see, this was December 11th. Spot silver hit a new all-time high. $63.95 per ounce. Well, we know today it hit a next all-time high. So, no, I'm not gonna bother to show y'all all this with the ETFs and all that. Ain't no point. In other news, a lot of people, this is not new for me, but a lot of Gen Zers and even millennials or whatever the case is a huge, I think 60-something% or something like that. They said they want crypto for Christmas. And of course, the US Senate are pushing to finalize crypto market structure bill before Christmas. That happens, it's a wrap. Now, this is old, what I'm showing you. I'm showing you this to show you how late y'all are to the party and how these people are up on it. $17 million. $17 million in XRP allegedly stolen from widow of country music legend George Jones. Now, we click this article. Look. 17 million. Come on. 17 million, right? Kirk West, a former lover of Nancy Jones, widow of John Jones, was arrested Friday in Nashville for the theft of XRP and cash. Now, you know, a lot of scams going on out there in Nashville all of a sudden. In case you don't know, it is said that in Nashville, they are taking payments out there in a lot of the stores in XRP. In case you don't know, Nashville has a lot of rich people out there as well. And they are heavily deep into crypto. Now, what her old ass know about XRP? That she have all that XRP, right? And she's a widow. Check this out. Let's do the brief. A Nashville man arrested on Friday for allegedly stealing $400,000 in cash and a Ledger wallet containing over $5 million. Wait, no. I want to read that right. I don't want to say dollars. Over 5 million XRP tokens from the widow of country music star George Jones. The accused man, his name is Kirk West, apparently dated George Jones' widow, Nancy, for years. So he knows she got that XRP. He dated her for years and convinced her in 2016 to buy up several cryptocurrencies, including XRP. Since 2016, XRP price has exploded, recently hitting a new all-time high mark of $3.65. So she got herself, damn, they don't even got his picture. There it is. Look at it. Woo! Woo! Look at that shirt. Fire! Y'all see that shirt? That's that XR. Hold on. Let me change the view on it. That's that XRP money. Look at homie. Celebrity Suge. Oh, Uncle Suge in the building. Now, y'all know Uncle Suge, sometimes he been getting at me, but since then, we came to an understanding. Salute to you, Celebrity Suge. Thank you for that super chat support. Let's go on. So, look at your man. Look at your man. Kurt West was arrested Friday on criminal theft charges. This picture is courtesy of Franklin Police Department. Look at him. She had gotten herself a young buck. He was dating for a year. He convinced her to buy XRP. Okay? But let's read all the way through. Well, not all the way through, some of it. A Tennessee man is facing years behind bars for allegedly stealing millions of dollars worth of XRP from the widow of a former country music star. You know what he said? He said, "You old bitch, you don't know what to do with that. You wouldn't have had that if it wasn't for me. Give me that nano ledger." He had it in the hard wallet. He had to set it up, put it in the hard wallet. Well, he don't know what you're teaching her this. Yo, you're making bank. So she's paying attention. Kirk West, a Nashville area resident, was arrested on Friday for allegedly theft of approximately $400,000 in cash and a ledger wallet containing over 5.5 million XRP tokens. This alleged victim of the caper, West Sprung, I'm done. Why they gotta put that? West Sprung lover Nancy Jones, the fourth and final wife of George Jones, the late country music sensation. So how exactly did the XRP, the red hot cryptocurrency created by Ripple's founder, end up front and center in alleged deceased spanning Southern saga of romance, music, deception, and crime? According to the court filing, first reported on by local news station WKRN, Nancy Jones first encountered West, the purported XRP swindler. Yo, they don't have to use all them words, but okay, the XRP swindler. I guess that's what he is. In the months after her husband, famed country star George Jones, passed away in 2013. West claimed to be interested in buying Jones' home and soon after began offering the widow consolation and companionship. Okay, they're using too much words. He was offering her that deep, okay, about consolation and companionship. He was slinging deep. That his game was strong. He got it to buy that much XRP. And around that time, most people ain't know about XRP like that. Nor did they even believe in it. Especially once the SEC sued, but I guess he told her, yo, buy the dip. Okay. So yeah, this XRP swindler right here. So this is what's going on behind the scenes. These rich people have all this money. They're buying up all this XRP. Okay? Just so you know. So you don't say I'm lying. It never happened. There it is right there. Hong Kong just exposed Ripple's Asia play, and nobody's talking about it. Hong Kong Central Bank, HKMA, is now tokenizing money market funds with major banks. And here's the part the media will never say out loud. Ripple has had a strategic office, regulatory presence in Hong Kong for years. And every pillar, HKMA is testing RWA tokenization, institutional settlements, cross-border corridors, real-time FX aligns exactly with Ripple's archetype. Let's break the coincidence. Well, it's no coincidence. When you go down here, you could check it out. Ripple is in Russia. They're in Hong Kong, yada, yada, yada. So Ripple's Asian hub, Hong Kong. Ripple built one of its APAC, I'm going to repeat, APAC, business development and regulatory terms, specifically in Hong Kong. Why? Because Hong Kong is the global bridge between Western capital markets and Chinese banking system, the exact jurisdiction testing tokenized MMFs today. Institutional RWA infrastructure equals Ripple's entire business model. So when you want, you could go to tool. They require liquidity. That bank, the bank is tested. Long story short, this is why America is on the prowl. Ripple said, oh, you want to sue us? No problem. We're still going to do business outside of wherever we're going to do. As y'all know, moving on, Hex Trust news, huge news for the XRP ecosystem. Hex Trust is launching and securing Wrapped XRP. They're the one that's holding the Wrapped XRP with the deal that they're doing with Solana. So yeah, all this is going on behind the scenes, and people is complaining about the price of XRP before they just look to buy more. Okay. At this point, you're either stupid or stupid. Now, if you think XRP can't reach $1,000 or even $10,000, you need to watch this video. Hold on, people. Else of going live. So you still think XRP can't reach $1,000 or even $10,000? Watch this.
Let's do some crazy XRP projections. Let's go. All Japanese banks using XRP, 25 trillion. The depository, Trust and Clearing Corporation, 3 quadrillion. SWIFT, 1.5 quadrillion. The top 10 US banks, 12.5 trillion. Tokenization, 2 trillion. MasterCard, 9 trillion. Visa, 16 trillion. Derivatives market, 1 quadrillion. American Express, 1 trillion. And the new deal with Hidden Road, 3 trillion. Now you add all this up, and the total is 5 quadrillion, $530 trillion, possibly running on the XRP ledger. So let's lowball it and say that XRP only got 1% of the 5.5 quadrillion volume. That would give it a market cap of 55 trillion. And price equals market cap divided by circulating supply. So that would be 55 trillion divided by 58 billion. Circulating supply gives you a price of $943. That's at 1%. Let's say they got 10%. That would be a market cap of 550 trillion, which in the end gives you a price of $9,438. So then let's just split it right down the middle. They get 5%. That would end up being a price of $4,719. So the volume numbers of all these partnerships are fairly accurate, but the outcomes are very highly dependent on many factors, like the big one. How much will XRP be in demand?
Yeah. So that's it. I gave y'all the source, gave y'all the information that y'all needed to know. Is there anything I'm missing? What did I post up? Yeah, I post up a few things. Let's end on this. This was on Kitco News. We're gonna end with this. Check this out, people.
The Basel III, when gold became money again recently, when the Basel III went through, at least in the U.S. banks, it's been going on across the globe. They made gold tier 1 capital again. We all know that we're coming to the end of a grand cycle, and the leaders of the world know this too. Again, it's not a gloom and doom statement. This is just reality. There's going to be a new monetary system at some point. It's anyone's guess whether it's next year or 10 years away, but we're heading there. We know that gold's going to be part of the system. Central banks are acquiring gold. Tether is acquiring gold. The stable coin. We see, and China has a voracious bid for gold, and they have their own issues. Gold became money again recently when the Basel III went through, at least in the U.S. banks. It's been going on across the globe.
So you heard it for yourself. And that's not just gold, it's also silver. All right. He's the former BlackRock portfolio manager. All right. Gold is money again. Silver is money again. Why don't you know about this? Any questions before I get out of here? Well, damn, we're over the hour mark. We're at an hour and 17 minutes. Any questions? Speak now or forever hold your peace. All right, all right, all right. What a live stream. What a live stream. I'm going to play the next video for you. Waiting to see if y'all got any questions.
So, we will see. I think, I have a public bet that's worth about $20,000 today on 750 by the end of the year for XRP. So, if I'm right, that will be worth about $3.5 million. We will see.
So he took a bet. Y'all already know who this is. He took a bet. And he's saying, yo, 3 digits, 750 to be exact. Okay? So, hey, what the hell do I know? Now, I'll be happy if it reach up to $50 by the end of the year. Yeah, this is with Swift. Pretty much, we don't need to go through all that. People trying to say Swift not working with that. Yeah, they are. What's this? A great reset coming?
And right now, America, Europe, China, Japan, and every other major power, listen to this carefully, have all hit stage 4 at the same time. Never before in human history has this happened. The bond markets are shaking. The currencies are all volatile. Politicians are praying that no one notices the numbers, that they no longer add up. Stage 4 is not coming. We are now living inside the opening act. Then comes stage 5. It's called the reset. But there is always a reset, always a new order that is born from the ashes of the old. And here's what makes this moment unprecedented. Rome collapsed by itself. France collapsed alone. Weimar collapsed by itself. Britain declined while America rose. It was always one country coming down and another country coming up. This time, all countries on both sides, the free world and the not so free world, there's no one rising. China is drowning in its local government debt. It's never going to say this, but it's a paper tiger. Europe is fractured and coming apart at the seams. Japan, demographic time bomb. America is politically frozen and insolvent fiscally. So for the very first time in world history, every major civilization has reached its peak of the debt cycle. This time, all at the same moment. No one's coming up. So what does that mean? Well, for the very first time in human history, it means when it arrives, it's not going to be regional. It will be global. It's not going to be slow. It'll be systemic. It'll be everywhere.
And so that's Glenn Beck, in case you were unaware, but he's talking about something that he is observing. And he's, I think he's spot on with what he's talking about here. But as a disclaimer, Glenn Beck is a Mormon. He believes that Jesus was created and that Jesus and Lucifer are brothers. And so that is something to consider when you listen to him. But with that in mind, I want you to recognize that what he is saying has a lot of truth to it. And so that's why I decided to play that clip for you, because.
All right. So we don't care that he's a Mormon. The information he's saying is facts. And when Glenn Beck speaks and he has his show, a lot of stuff he put on is fact. And we end up seeing the coming of the past of what he said. Y'all need to understand something. I'm not getting paid no extra set of money. Yeah, you might see some commercials come up on here. Look how long I ain't had the page monetized for. At least 3-4 years. And then have the page monetized. By choice. Well, the first 2 years was by my choice. I had my reasons. The other 2 was when YouTube started being on the caca. Right? But nonetheless, I'm not getting paid no big set of money for bringing this information to you. I'm not getting paid to be here an hour or over an hour bringing this information to you. Okay? There's big things coming down the pipeline. When you see me do these live streams, and I'm telling y'all, get this. Yeah, people, correct me if I'm wrong. If you've been watching me for the longest, you see, I don't pay attention to nothing the conscious community do no more. The Hebraic community, the Islamic community, the Buddhist community. A lot of people will come on here, talk your ears off and tell you all this stuff. Do this, do that, while they're still broke. And if they're not broke, they're penny pinching and they're depending on your dollars to make it happen for them. I don't care about the different Christian community, the Mormons, the Catholics, and all this. I don't get involved in none of that. None of the debates, none of the back and forth with none of these YouTubers, Instagrammers, TikTokers, Twitter heads, or should I say X heads. I don't do that. I come on here to bring you facts. The war against principalities in high places, it already has begun. One of the major things they're going to try to attack is your finance. Okay? Notice they deal with all the steps that they could deal with. But one of the major things they want to do is create that central bank digital currency or push the CBDCs. You have to understand, this is serious. I do these videos for you to share it, comment, give me feedback so I can answer your questions. Y'all don't bother. I know some of y'all are living out in Canada, and if you're out there in Canada and you need my help, you contact me. I'm not always the best to deal with, I'll admit. But no one out there that I could say, or should I say, let me say this, it's not very much people out there that care about the people, of the people, with the people, and by the people like I am. I am telling you, you do not get involved in this right now. This is the end game. The same way where I gave you warning in 2013 was to come in 2020 with the pandemic. Y'all, some of y'all listened, some of y'all didn't listen. I had people calling me in 2021 saying, yo, I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I watch you all the time, but I thought you was just looking for views and clicks. Every time you call it, you're on point. I am telling you, this is about to be the final fall. This is doomsday coming. This is a reckoning, and I'm not trying to be a fearmonger. I get accused of being called a fearmonger all the time, but yet, you see, I'd be right. You see, I'd be right, though. Who told you in 2020 Ripple was going to be a bank? I did. Who told you look out for Coinbase becoming a bank? I did. Show me who was saying that before. How much times I told y'all it was going to be a bank of Ripple? How much times I told y'all to get Ripple stock? Not just XRP, but Ripple stock. Ripple is going to become a bank. Now Ripple is a bank. 20 to 21, 21 to 22, 22 to 23, 23 to 24, 24 to 25. I gave y'all the information 5 years from now. I need you to understand. I'm not on here. I know sometimes I'll be like, yo, are you stupid or are you stupid? And some of y'all feel away. Well, stop doing stupid shit. Especially if you know you got children. This is the time to take heed. When I told you silver was going to rise, hit an all-time high because of AI and OI. Look, you got videos where people still not talking about OI like that. I make sure I bring it to you. Because the war, the battle is really for the flesh and the soul. I need y'all to understand this. I'm not coming on here to talk just the freaking talk because it make me feel good. I'm not making no real big money off of this. I don't know how much you think YouTube pays me. This is not back in the days where I used to get $6,000 a month, $8,000 a month, $4,000 on a real low end, $2,000 a month. That's them days been done. Them days been over. Ask all these YouTubers that's pulling in millions of views. Them days are done. Okay? When I come out here and I'm giving y'all this information, I get shadow banned. Me giving you this type of information, compiling it all together for you, especially years, months, days in advance, they don't like that. And y'all barely look. Look how long I ain't get a super chat. I'm surprised I got a super chat, and from Sugar out of all people. I don't come on here. I don't beg for y'all to hit my GoFundMe. I don't beg for y'all to hit my Cash App. Okay? I don't beg for y'all to send me super stickers, super chats. I don't do it. Take this information. The most that y'all have me begging for is a like, to hit the like button or leave a comment. And some of y'all can't even do that. If you have children or you plan on having children or you have family members you need to take care of, you need to get your hands on some silver right now. You need to get into crypto right now. Look, the old one, look, it's still up and running. Crypto Pro Life, been telling y'all. I don't even gatekeep where I get most of the info from. Contact cryptoprolife@gmail.com and get the latest course that was set for y'all, that y'all was supposed to get. They asked me, yo, people coming out with you having the people come out with the new one. I'm like, yo, they don't even want to deal like that. These people, they're big time. They do what they do. They do all that for me, for you, out of a favor, out of generosity. They do it for me as a favor. And I look to make sure y'all get that info. Y'all need to take heed. Okay. Sun is Hot Ra 9958 says, I remember, what's that? I remember back in the day when the conscious community was popping, but I had to leave it alone for the same reason as you. None of the information can be applied to better my life. Hey, I'm just a messenger. Stoner Feud says, he can bring the facts, but how many listen and act? Lester says, gratitude. Okay. Ebony Eyes 7023 said, you're right about most of them being broke. There are only 3 that I know who speak on crypto. And not for nothing, they ain't giving you the facts. Like, a lot of them that out there speaking on crypto is not breaking down the facts and even being on this long. And you can't call them and even speak to them directly. Moving on. Keep bringing the facts to us. Thank you. You're welcome. Honest George 5628. Ebony Eye says you're always on point. Thank you. Yes, the Great Reset is here. Who's this? Eric Davis, 9199. This is great information, Sir Benjamin. Trump is the president to crush the banks. Yes, because what the banks did for him. Remember what the banks did to him? They debanked him. Remember? Sun is Hot Ra asks, what's your thought on XRP now being able to earn yield with different DeFi protocol such as Flare/Firelight? Good question. I don't really be trusting it like that. And that's not only me, Not saying that it's not good, but not only me. People are scared to death to spend their XRP. I tell people the XRP NFTs they needed to get in one ears out the other. And mind, I got the information from Crypto Play. You know how much money they would have made? But they scared to come up off of that XRP. But Flair's supposed to be someone trusted. And you have others where they're gonna do whatever protocol that you could stake your they give you Flare XRP tokens or F Flare, whatever it's called. You gain the interest. But let's be real. You think the bank of Ripple ain't gonna have something like that available? Something to think about. What's gonna happen to BTC? I still hold a large BTC bag I want to sell, but I'm down by 1,300K. What the hell do I do? I do hold XRP and have money to buy more, but I'm also stuck with BTC. Well, what some people have done, which I know for a fact works, you wait for the Bitcoin to go up and you put it into XRP. That's what a lot of people have done. Same they did with Ethereum. It went up, they put it into XRP. And other cryptos, Tron. I told you about Tron. Tron went up, put it in XRP. When XRP was low, XRP outperformed all of them. All of them. Now, it's good to still have a BTC bag. You might not want to have a whole lot, but you have a Bitcoin bag, the BTC bag, on the side. Because who knows what they could do with it, what's going to become of it. We all know Bitcoin is manipulated, right? Heavily. It's one of the most manipulated crypto besides XRP. Because it's too easy to manipulate. All you need is 99 coins to manipulate the market. You literally only need 99 Bitcoin to manipulate the market. And I remember when somebody said that, I thought, to be honest with you, it was a little more than that. I was saying about maybe 200 coins. But somebody that does this in real time, matter of fact, let me just show you this video. Let's go in real time.
Nomad made a tweet saying it only takes like 99 Bitcoin to move price over 10%. Jules was like, no, you're wrong, you're stupid. And Nomad was like, bet, watch. Nomad single-handedly, just by himself, nuked the entire market. It was like a 15% Bitcoin fucking nuke. He deposits like either 99 or 100 Bitcoin, goes 100x short, I think it was, destroys the fucking market, makes money, and he does it transparently. Nomad made a tweet saying,
here it is
only
again.
takes like 99 Bitcoin to move price over 10%. Jules was like, no, you're wrong, you're stupid. And Nomad was like, bet, watch. Nomad single-handedly, just by himself, nuked the entire market. It was like a 15% Bitcoin fucking nuke. He deposits like either 99 or 100 Bitcoin, goes 100x short, I think it was, destroys the fucking market, makes money, and he does it transparently. Nomad made a tweet saying it only takes like 99 Bitcoin.
Okay. Okay. Now I know some people don't want to hear that. That don't make it not true. Okay. Ebony Eyes says, once again, you are stirring the pot and frying in the skillet. Thank you. You're welcome. All right, people. I'm already at the 1 hour and 39-minute mark. Like I said, it's so much information I got that I could give y'all. Okay? Go to Twitter, Joel Benjamin 528, and you can see some of the stuff that I post up. I'm going to leave y'all with this video.
Ripple's US dollar-backed stablecoin has also officially been recognized as an accepted fiat referenced token by Abu Dhabi's Financial Services Regulatory Authority, essentially paving the way for authorized institutions to use it for regulated financial activity within ADGM. Well, let's get more on this. Reese Merrick is here. He is the Managing Director, Middle East and Africa at Ripple, joining me around the desk in Abu Dhabi. Reese, welcome to the program. Good to have you on today.
Hi, Dan. Great to be here.
First and foremost, what does this approval actually allow Ripple to do that you couldn't do before?
I mean, firstly, what this does is it further validates kind of Ripple's value proposition here in the region, and a compliance-first approach as it relates to issuing our own stablecoin, RLUSD, the back end of last year. And really what it allows and gives comfort to do is for ADGM licensed entities to be able to utilize RLUSD within their flows, within their operations, which is a great step forward for Ripple, great step forward for the region.
Significant step forward for the region. And as I just mentioned, we have seen Abu Dhabi and the UAE becoming a real hub for digital assets. So the fast track of this approval is something to celebrate. But at the same time as well, I want to understand what it means for the business, because within the stablecoin sector, what we see is USDT, USDC really dominating this industry right now. Of course, both much larger and more widely used. So what differentiates RLUSD from those other major players, and what can your stablecoin do that they can't?
Firstly, if we take a step back, I would say that when we were looking to enter this market, what we wanted to do is come with a compliant regulatory first approach, which is why we went essentially to the gold standard of regulators with the New York Department of Finance, who regulate the issuance of RLUSD the back end of 2024. What it means, though, is, when you look at the stablecoin market, sits at around $300 billion today. You notably kind of pointed out the two that kind of dominates in that space at the moment. But we believe this market is going to be, moving into the trillions. We think it's going to be a big market, and there's share for everyone. What I would say is kind of how we're looking to differentiate from a Ripple perspective is we want to be able to be the gold standard for institutions to adopt this stablecoin. We've made a couple of acquisitions this year where RLUSD will play a big role. G-Treasury, a treasury management solution that essentially sees how Fortune 500 businesses are moving trillions of dollars between their own operations. And I can tell you that since we have made that announcement of acquisition, we're having so much inbound where we're seeing real institutions looking to do the benefits of what RLUSD can provide to their business operations.
Just on scale, RLUSD has about 1.2 billion in circulation, as I understand it. That's tiny compared to Tether, which has about 120 billion. So how do you compete in a market where scale is everything?
Absolutely. I think Ripple started as a payment institution in terms of providing technology. We've since gone down the licensing route. We were actually earlier this year approved as the first blockchain-enabled payment solution provider in the DFSA, which is great. We've done $95 billion in terms of turnover through our payment product, which utilizes XRP and XRP Ledger. So really, we're looking at how we can solve real-world utility for cross-border payments, and we see RLUSD as a natural step there. We were getting a lot of demand from our customers to make payouts in stablecoins, so naturally it fits within our current flow, and we do see the scale as it comes on. We look at another acquisition, Hidden Road, now Ripple Prime, who are also in the ADGM. They turn over $3 trillion in prime brokerage. Again, we're looking to incorporate RLUSD into those flows. So we're seeing through our acquisitions, through our existing payment business, that the flow and the scale will come for RLUSD as well.
This week at Abu Dhabi Finance Week, we've been having a lot of conversations about the crypto industry and about what's happening with stablecoins. I was at a CNBC CEO roundtable lunch yesterday, and of course, this really dominated the topic on the agenda at that lunch. And I think two things really emerged for me. Number one is there's still a huge lack of understanding about how this industry works and why it exists. And then number two, huge gaps in trust as well, Reese. So what are you doing to address those issues, not just to improve the understanding of the stablecoin industry, but to make sure that people can actually believe in its utility?
I think first and foremost, trust is paramount. And that's why, as I mentioned before, getting approved by the regulator NYDFS certainly cements that trust with other regulators like the ADGM, like the DFSA, to firstly approve RLUSD as a stable coin to be used within their ecosystem. I think as well, when you look at it, you know, cross-border payments flow, I think 50% of all payments are made in dollars, right? So a lot of those payments, you know, do not actually go to the US.
Listen.
So therefore, it's quite inefficient and slow for payments to be made through the traditional channels. We believe that with the right regulation, with the right coverage and governance, and certainly how we're operating, the trust can be built in order to make and have real utility. And we actually, you mentioned before, every conversation has been dominated around stablecoins. I think that when these large financial institutions, these large corporates start to see the benefits of their business, they're certainly going to see that kind of hockey stick growth here.
What's your message to the global banks and the fintechs then, as they see this industry continuing to evolve? And of course, regulators, the more forward-thinking regulators, also actively looking to ensure that the development of this ecosystem continues to move forward.
Look, I think there's no bank, financial institution, payment entity that is not thinking, talking, or incorporating a stablecoin strategy. And quite frankly, if they're not, they will get left behind. I think that we're certainly seeing a lot of interest, not only in the region, globally. You know, the Genius Acts in the US kind of is really kind of allowed and paved the way for some of the largest global financial institutions to kind of play in this space. And I think you'll see a continuation of that.
And there you have it, people. There you have it. Before I leave you, I want to show y'all this. Okay? I got y'all. I should have it here. Bear with me. These the L's of going live. Matter of fact, so I got this from some of the new information with Crypto Pro Life. Let me step back so you can see it. So y'all know about Pokemon. Ben told y'all gotta be doing something, collect something. No, y'all don't listen. I got to find out one of the latest Crypto Pro Life. They talk about One Piece. One Piece. All right. The One Piece cards is going to be the next huge big thing. You want to get One Piece. See, I know I got to step back. Hold on. So you can see it properly. Dropping my cards. Sorry, people. These the L's are going live. You want to get One Piece. See if I bring it up too close to glare. So hopefully you'll see it like this. The different ones to collect. It is going to be huge. Don't say I didn't tell you. When you get the cards, don't be like me. Been too busy. You're going to want to get the cards and put them in something like this. Hold on. Hopefully, y'all can see this properly. And move this chair. Because I know the glare going to get all up on it. The sleeve. All right. Get it upside down. For y'all that ain't in the know, some of y'all ain't got not no one baseball card, no basketball card. You take it and you put it in the sleeve like that. You have the front. You can also fill up the back side like so. See that? So y'all can't say y'all don't know. Can't say I'm gatekeeping, I ain't tell you. That is one of the next huge things out. One Piece. Probably won't ever bring it up again after this. Salute to the international audience. Salute to the domestic. Joel Benjamin, 528, aka Big Money Benjamin, aka MC Spookism. Peace.